Welcome to the Grateful Living podcast. I'm your host, Talisha Meyer. I'm a published author, writer, holistic massage practitioner, empath, intuitive, and light worker. Join us for this week's episode. Hello and welcome back to the Grateful Living podcast. I'm Talisha and this episode today is a reminder, a permission slip and a gentle push. This is for the woman who has been loyal, consistent, reliable, the one who shows up early, stays late, and quietly holds things together, and yet feels overlooked. If you've ever thought, I don't want to rock the boat, I should just be grateful, maybe this is just how it is, this episode is for you. I want to start with a story. I recently met up with a group of my girlfriends, proper girls catch up after over a year. The kind where you talk about life, work, exhaustion, and what you've been carrying. She told me she'd been in the same workplace for 8 years. 8 years of showing up, 8 years of commitment, and yet barely any pay rises, no additional holiday, no real recognition. What struck me was how normalised it had become, how she learned to downplay her own contribution, and how she kept making excuses for accepting less than what she deserved. When I tried to challenge her on this, she kind of said to me that she didn't really know how to ask. So here's something we need to say out loud. Women are not taught to ask. We're taught to cope, how to be flexible, how to be understanding. Many of us were praised for being easy, agreeable, low maintenance. So when the time comes to advocate for ourselves, the body panics. Not because you're incapable, but because it feels unsafe and because you were never taught how. This is where the nervous system work really does matter. If your body learned that love comes from being useful, safety comes from staying quiet, approval comes from not needing much, then asking will feel like danger. Your heart races, your throat tightens, you rehearse the conversation 100 of times but then abandon it. This is not just a mindset issue, it's actually a biological response. And when you understand that, you stop shaming yourself and start working with your body instead of against it. So let's reframe this now. At lunch, I said something very simple to her. If you never ask, you never get. Not in a harsh way, but in a very grounded way, because hoping someone will notice your worth often keeps you stuck. And trust me, I've been there. Asking doesn't mean that you're being ungrateful. It means that you're being honest. And here's the reframe I want you to sit with. Asking is not about being confrontational. Asking is communication. Asking is clarity. Let me be very clear. You're not asking for too much. You're asking the wrong people without clarity, or you're not asking at all. If you've given years of loyalty, energy, emotional labour, you're not demanding, you're self-respecting. You don't need to over-justify and you don't need to apologise. Your experience speaks. I want to ask you something and let this land. Where in your life are you waiting to be chosen instead of choosing yourself? Where are you hoping someone will finally notice instead of naming your value? It might be the pay, rest, time off, support, boundaries. What would shift if you believed you were allowed to ask? Before we close this episode, I want to get practical because motivation without tools can leave you feeling stuck. Knowing your worth is one thing, asking for it is another. So here are a few grounded, realistic ways for asking for what you deserve without forcing confidence or going into fight or flight. Firstly, you need to regulate before you communicate. Before you ask anything, regulate your body. This might look like taking a few slow inhales and exhales, placing one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly, and reminding yourself, I am safe to speak. Don't walk into conversations dysregulated and expect clarity. Clarity comes from safety, and safety starts within the body first. Number 2, get clear on the ask, not the apology. Many women go in with a story, not a request. Instead of saying, I just wanted to check in because I know things are really busy, I don't want to seem ungrateful, try, I'd like to talk about my role and compensation. Clear doesn't mean cold, it means respectful to you and to them. Number 3, Anchor your worth in facts, not feelings. Your value doesn't need to be emotional. Before the conversation, write down how long you've been in the role, responsibilities you've taken on, growth or stability that you've contributed to. This isn't about bragging, it's about grounding. Number 4, practice asking without over-explaining. One of the biggest shifts is learning to stop justifying your existence. You don't need a 10-minute speech. You can simply say, I'm asking for a pay review. I'd like to discuss additional holiday. I'm looking for growth and recognition in this role. Then pause. Silence doesn't mean you've done something wrong. It means you're letting the request land. Number 5, detach your worth from the outcome. This is really important. The response you get does not define your value. Sometimes asking doesn't lead to an immediate yes, but it always gives you information. Information creates choice. Choice creates freedom, and that alone is powerful. Number 6, remind yourself asking is a skill. If asking feels awkward, it's not because you're bad at it. It just simply means you weren't actually taught. Confidence comes from repetition, not perfection. Every time you ask, your nervous system learns, I can speak, I can be seen, I can survive. And over time, that gets easier. So if asking feels uncomfortable right now, let that be okay. Discomfort doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. It means you're doing something new, and often something necessary. This episode isn't about pushing harder. It's about feeling safer in your body while taking up space. Because when women feel safe, their voice steadies, their words land, their worth becomes visible. So let this be your reminder today. You're allowed to ask, you're allowed to want more, and you're allowed to be met there. If this episode resonated, you'll find ways to work with me in the show notes or simply contact me through Instagram, whether that's nervous system support, self-worth work, embodied confidence, or somatic work. Thank you for being here, and until next time, take good care. Thank you for listening to today's episode. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at _the_grateful_living.